Hey everybody, welcome back to Brent's Backyard Redneckery. So I'm going to make the most delicious jelly I've ever had tonight, watermelon jelly. It's actually jam because I don't use just the juice. I'll pulp this watermelon, turn it into some mush, and turn it into jam. So if you've never had it, I definitely suggest you give this one a try. So get ready and I'll tell you what you need to do. Let's get into it. So to make watermelon jam, you just need 4 ingredients: watermelon, some lemon juice, sugar, and fruit pectin. All right, so we'll go step by step, show you how to do this. It's a very simple recipe. First thing we're going to do is chop up the watermelon and get it pureed. For me, whenever it comes to slicing up a watermelon, it's not really that much to it. I've seen some dudes take these things and cut them in a real fancy way and just be able to strip all the watermelon out of it and just pull the rind off. I don't have any luck trying that, so what I'm going to do here is just cut them up into chunks. So I'll just take my knife and go around it like so. And we're going to cut these into smaller cubes. So I'm just going to slice it like so. Chop, 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 chop. We're looking to get 8 cups out of this. All right, so I did end up with 8 cups out of that small melon. I need to puree this and get 6 cups for this recipe. So we'll go ahead and toss it all in here and we'll puree it until it's fine mush, really. I think I'll do that a little bit at a time because I have a feeling all that liquid in there is going to make one heck of a mess. Yeah, so I'll just keep adding to it until I get that completely done. You still got a few of those white floaters in there. Try and get those out with a fine mesh sieve. So I got exactly 6 cups. I'm going to pour this through the sieve, try to get out some of those little white seeds. Once the juice is out of it into a bowl, I'm going to blend that again, see if I can get it a little bit thinner. If you want to strain out those seeds, just take your stuff and pour it through your sieve like so. And kind of work it through there. Let it get all the juice through. So if you wanted to make watermelon jelly, you could do this, but I prefer the jam because I like a little bit of body to it. So that's what we're looking at. That's our mush. So I'm going to strain the rest of this and see if I can't get those seeds out. So we've got 2 cups of just the pulp. And this, I'm going to use this food processor to hit this because the blade moves a whole lot faster than the other one. And we still got a few of those little non-developed white transparent looking seeds, and I want to get those pulverized as far as I can before I cook all this. Now that I've got that completely pureed, we're just going to take it off of there and pour the rest of that puree in with our juice. We'll stir this up and then we'll pour it into our stainless steel pot and get it ready to start cooking and making jam. So I've got my watermelon puree all stirred up. I'm gonna drop all that in there, and then we're gonna add a half a cup of lemon juice and get the temperature up on this. We're gonna put it on a medium high heat. Once it starts warming up enough to melt the sugar, we'll dump that in. All right, we just almost reached a boil. We're gonna toss in our sugar now, get that all dissolved. And we gotta get this up to 220 degrees. And then we'll toss in 1/3 cup of fruit pectin. All right, so I'm going to set this on a little bit higher setting, an 8 now. If we get any kind of foam on here, we can add a tablespoon of butter to get rid of it. Yeah, so that butter will help a little bit with that foam. We're at 210 degrees. Once we hit the 220 mark, we'll toss in that pectin, like I said, and then we got to stir it for 5 more minutes. I've already got my other jars going back there, sterilizing. So we should be able to time this just about right and get it all knocked out. All right, so I've let this cook and cook and cook, probably about 2 minutes here. The highest I can get is 215. So we're going with our pectin now. And then we'll let it cook for 5 minutes with the pectin in there, and we'll just keep stirring it. All right, so I did the gel test, and it wasn't good enough. So we're going to toss in another 1/3 cup and the fruit pectin. This may be a lot different if you use the packaged stuff like Sure Gel. You probably will only need 2 boxes. But like with any kind of jelly or any kind of canning that you're doing, you got to leave head space at the top. And we need to leave about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of head space, which should be right about there. Whenever we go to put our lids and things on, I want to make sure that they've been sterilized along with your jars. And wipe off your lid and then dry it off. So we make sure that we get a good seal. Then we're just going to take our lids, pop them on right there in the middle, and then hold it in place. Let's use a couple fingers like that. Finger tight it down. We'll do that for all those jars, and then we'll put them in a water bath. You just set your jars inside your big old pot, and you can probably see that ring right there. That's about where we're going to fill up our water to, which is going to be about 1/2 inch over top of it. Stick it on high. Once it reaches boil, we'll go for 10 minutes, and then take those out and do the rest of them. Okay, so I let my jelly sit overnight. Let's take a look at it and see if it's set up. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that definitely did not set up. We got 2 options. We can put it back in the pot and just cook it for a longer period of time, or we can put it in the pot, add a little more sugar, or add a little bit more pectin. All right, since we got to recook this, what we need to do first, take our lids off, just pry it up real easy. Should pop right off with your fingernails. And we're going to take this and pour it into our pot. And yesterday it passed the freeze test, but I guess not as much as it needed to. But we're just going to get all these dumped in there and then get this start cooking. All right, I've got this slowly brought it back up. We're about to hit a boil. Once I get to a rolling boil, I'm going to dump in 1 more third of fruit pectin, and I'm going to let it cook for 5 more minutes, and then we're going to test it again and see if it is gelled up and ready to go into our cans. So now we're going to add in our last third. So this will bring us up to 1 cup of pectin. So I'm going to get this up to a rolling boil, and we're going to put it in our jar. So we've hit the 5-minute mark. I'm going to take this off the heat. Let me grab a plate out of the freezer and see if this stuff gels up like it's supposed to do. Let's check it out. I don't know. That's pretty doggone close. Not close enough for my liking. So I'm going to cook it for 2 more minutes, and we'll take it from there. All right, so now it's off the heat. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but it's starting to gel up at the top, on top of this. And I do believe once it's cooled down now, after that 2-minute mark, yeah, I think we'll be good. I'm going to put all this back in my jars and water bath can it, and then we'll look at it in the morning. So it looks like it's a whole lot more nice and jellified. Just whenever I pour this in, look at the difference in the thickness between last time and this time. That should turn out to be a perfect jelly. Yeah, well, jam, whatever. You know what I mean? That, my friends, is beautiful. Much better than it was before I had to recook it. You can even see the jelly, how it's gelling on there. So yeah, I think we got it this time. So now if we look at this, you can tell that should be perfect. So this is set overnight. Let's pop one of these off, take a look. And we've got jelly that is gelled. So we're good to go on that. We'll wrap it up. All right, that wraps up another episode of Brent's Backyard Redneckery. So if you guys have learned anything from this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If it's a recipe you want to try, I'm going to leave it in the description, and you can do it yourself. Trust me, you're going to love this jam. Until next time, you guys stay safe. Come back again. I'll tell you what you need to do. Y'all have a good one.